Hey guys, hope you're doing great. So, Felix on Facebook asked me if I can talk a little bit about my understanding of Brahmacharya, what it means, and who it is for. So, as some of you might know, I lived in the ashram in India for 3 years, and so I was living right next to the Brahmacharis there. For those of you who don't know, Brahmachari means a monk. Brahmacharya literally means like Brahma means the divine and Charya means path. So it means like the path of the divine or to the divine. And it's a path where basically you want to focus 100% on your spiritual growth without any distraction whatsoever. So most of them, they live in the ashram. Some of them actually travel, but most of them, they live there and they have a certain lifestyle, which is just, more focused on that than for other spiritual seekers. Fundamentally, in the yogic tradition, they always speak about two different paths. One is that of the brahmachari, and one is that of the householder, or like the family person. And both of them, they have, their both of them are justified, because for different people, a different path is the most suitable ones. And I mean, not the best authority to speak about that, but I'm just going to share my insight from my time in the ashram and from my own thoughts regarding this. Because obviously I myself at some point was thinking about this. I think everyone who spends some time in the ashram at some point has that thought and considers this path. So yeah, I mean, basically what it means is that you really want to focus on this, and that means also that you have to leave behind some things. And one aspect of it is that you basically you stop your relationships with the way you had them before, which includes your family. And this is probably the biggest challenge that most people face, and also Felix was asking about it, if that means that you can never meet your family again. And I know this seems like this is a big thing. And I know this is probably the one thing that most people struggle with, and even for me it was one of the major things I struggled with when I thought about it. But I would urge you to not only think about what you have to give up, but really look at what you're trying to achieve. That's what Sadhguru always used to say, that when you try to work for something really big, then sometimes we have to give up small pleasures, small things to gain big pleasures and big things. So not that the family is a small thing, not in any means, and it is a hard, tough decision, and everybody can't just make that individually. But yeah, basically you really have to be determined that this is going to be your path. And I think there's an element of, being willing to just completely commit to this path once you've decided it. Sadhguru speaks about this often, that there is not like the one right path. You, at some point, I think we just have to make a choice, and once we make the choice, we just stick to it 100% without wavering, and just give our best to give ourselves to this path, and then it will be wonderful. So I think instead of deciding, okay, is this the right thing for me or not, which is an aspect, I think you can only get so far with that kind of thinking. You will never have, I think the fewest people, and I spoke to some of them, had like this 100% clarity that this is their path. A lot of them, they just decided that this is going to be their path, and they committed to it, and now they're making it happen. And I think this is the kind of commitment that you need to bring up if you're really considering to do this. Probably this is true for anything in life, but more so for such a dramatic, not dramatic, but like such a impactful choice. So yeah, for anyone who considers this, obviously I would urge you to first of all go to the ashram, spend some time there, spend at least 1 or 2 years there to really see if you can see yourself there long term. Anyway, they don't take anyone, and they require you to spend some time there before they would even consider you. But it makes a lot of sense. So, before, if you haven't really spent a significant amount of time in the ashram yet, then I would say before you even think about it more and break your head thinking about it, just go there, okay? Because even to go there for a year or 2 years, it's a big thing for most people. And even that requires a certain commitment, and even that will be uncomfortable, telling your family and all. So first make that commitment, and then when you're there, just give yourself 100% to that experience, and then just see where that brings you, where that moves you, and see how you can make that longing, that internal longing, grow. I think that's the key for people who want to go that path. I finally, for myself, I decided that I'm not going to take the path. But obviously this is a very individual choice. And, anyone who's considering it, I definitely want to encourage to really, do whatever it takes to really make that choice. And I would encourage anyone who is serious about it to maybe even do it, because I think it is the path which probably can get you there the fastest if you really make that commitment. Yeah, you have to consider, what are your needs? What is the lifestyle that you can see yourself? Are you willing to work on yourself to overcome those needs? And to just stick to it, whatever it takes. So yeah, there's not the right path for anyone. It's like an individual choice that you have to make. I would really encourage you, go there, spend a good amount of time there, see how how your growth develops over that period. And also another thing is, when you walk on that spiritual path and you do yoga, for most of us, I think it's like not every day you have some amazing experience or something like, blissful states, but at some point on your journey you have these big experiences where internally you feel something amazing. You feel certain states, whether it's bliss or whatever it is. And what I always try to do is I try to always remind myself of these states, like the highest states, and always take those as my reference point. Sadhguru also says that when you make such decisions, you should always make them when you are in a very happy state, because when we are happy, that's the state, that's a point of time when we are like the least now I'm not getting the least compulsive. The word was just on my tongue. So, when we're really happy, we're the least compulsive, which means that the decisions we make in that point of time will be the ones that really come from like, they tend to be the ones I feel that lead us to our liberation and our freedom, because they come from a place of freedom. When you're happy, you're like internally free. You're not compulsive. When we make a decision in a situation where we are like filled with fear or anger or some needy state, some filled with some desire, some neediness, then those decisions probably they're gonna lead us to a place which is not towards our liberation. So when making such a big decision, it would be really important that you are in a state where you're happy, where you are in a uncompulsive state. And then later, once you make the decision, you just stick to it. Even you go through bad times and compulsive situations, compulsive states, you just remind yourself of that time, and that's what you're working towards. And then I feel that we're gonna achieve that. So yeah, this is the thing I can advise you. First of all, make sure you go there, spend some good amount of time there, and try to bring yourself to a state of happiness, and really remember those high states which you experienced internally. This is what you want to have more of, and this is what you're working towards. So make your decision once you are in a state like that, and then after you make it, you just have to stick to it. Just give your 100%, and then it doesn't matter. There's no question if it was the right choice or not, because if you stick to the decision, then it will be the right choice for you. That's what I would tell you to do. And don't look what anybody else is doing, because this is only about you. So really only listen to yourself when you make that decision. Alright guys, I hope this is helpful for some of you. If you have any other questions, guys, please just leave a comment below in the comments. And I'm gonna make a video where I can address your question, because this is the whole point of these videos. Also, please give me a thumbs up if you like this, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm bringing up new videos every single week. Alright guys, see you soon, bye.